Limerence can totally scramble your judgment. Drunk on love intoxication and hopelessly optimistic, limerents have a tendency to make some common mistakes that stop them from actually making progress, whether they want to try and connect with the person that they're infatuated with, or if they want to free themselves from an unwanted obsession. In this video, I'm going to run through 8 common mistakes that limerents make so that you can avoid them. Or maybe laugh a bit and then make them anyway. Hi, my name is Tom Bellamy. I'm a neuroscientist and writer, and I blog all about limerents at livingwithlimerents.com. I'm also the author of the book Smitten that explains how neuroscience can help us make sense of limerents and to recover from it. Okay, let's get into 8 common mistakes that limerents make. Limerents can seem very serious. There's often a sense of a kind of cosmic connection between you and your limerent object, that person that you're infatuated with, that feels very profound. But I think it's good to laugh at ourselves from time to time, both because it's grounding generally, but also because it helps break the fantasy bubble that we can build up around ourselves. So what I'm going to do is go through the 8 commonest mistakes and then role play the sort of self-justifying inner monologue that limerents often use. Let's see if it works. Okay, so the first mistake is believing that it's special for us, so it must be special for them. Limerents can feel like there's an extraordinary romantic potency hanging in the air between you, and that connection feels incredibly meaningful and significant. So, fairly naturally, limerents can assume that the feeling of specialness is shared rather than just happening within their own heads.
There's no way I could be imagining this. It's epic. They must be able to sense how strongly I feel. They're happy when we chat, they told me all about their secret wishes, and they definitely flirted with me. They even said how much fun they have when we're together. They must be thinking about me relentlessly all the time, because this is special. They can't possibly just enjoy my company but otherwise forget me when I'm not around and just get on with their own lives oblivious to my obsession. No way.
The second mistake that limerents make is reading too much into everything. So limerents involves overactivation of the arousal, reward and bonding systems in the brain, and they provide what's known as incentive salience. They tell us what matters in our environment. That means that everything that your limerent object says or does can seem weighted with importance, and so we very often misread the significance of what are actually neutral things.
Last week they responded to my text in like 30 seconds, but they haven't answered the last one for 2 days. Maybe they're angry with me about something. What happened last time we were together? Oh God, I cracked that joke about dogs, didn't I? And they're a dog person. Oh no, hang on, they laughed at it and they touched my knee, so it's sweet. I know, I'll not reply to their next text for 3 days and that'll teach them not to take me for granted. Although I don't want to be a manipulative jerk, maybe they're just really busy. I'll just check again. Oh my God, they've replied.
Mistake number 3 is circling back to the proof memory. Often limerents get trapped in the fixation and desperation phases of limerents, and the attachment to their limerent object starts to feel toxic. Now, one response to that pain is to excavate your memories, to recall times where you had a very positive interaction with the limerent object. Now, we all have good and bad memories with our limerent objects, and these can form what I call anchor memories, so memories that have taken on special significance. Now, a way of self-medicating the pain of having a bad experience with your limerent object is to relive and immerse yourself in one of those good anchor memories as a kind of proof that there is something real between you.
That's it. I am done with her. No more making a fool of myself trying to get a response. I don't know what the hell is wrong with me. It's obvious she isn't interested except when she needs something. I'm 10 years older and I'm being ridiculous. Except, remember that time when I bumped into her in town and she smiled the biggest, happiest, most natural smile I've ever seen? And then we hung out at the coffee shop for 2 hours and she just gazed into my eyes and laughed and talked and flirted. There's no way she was faking that. That was real. I'll just dwell on that vividly until the pain goes away.
Mistake number 4. I just need to know. Limerents can get to the stage of realising that their hopes for a relationship are a lost cause. That can trigger the decision to break contact and start the recovery process. But there's often a little nagging voice that's hard to ignore at this stage. And it goes, I just need to know for sure how they feel. I just need some certainty before I can give up for good.
I'm almost done with this, but I just need to know that I wasn't imagining it all. I think it would be a really good idea just to ask him directly. Yeah, not in a needy way, just to settle it once and for all. I just, can't move on until I know, until I get closure. But I don't want to leave it on a really awkward note. Maybe I should write a letter. Oh God, no written evidence. You know what, I'll just tell him. I know I've hinted at it in the past, but this time I'll be much more obvious so that he can't possibly misunderstand the words that I'm screaming at him between the lines of what I actually say.
Mistake number 5. I feel much better now. For limerents who have started the recovery process, there can come a time when you're feeling good about your progress. If you still have to have contact with your limerent object though, if say they're a co-worker or a close friend or a neighbour, that can lead to a kind of false dawn. The I'm totally over them so we can go for coffee syndrome.
I'm actually over her. It's been 2 days since I last thought about her. I can't even really remember what it was I saw in her. I think it would be fine to relax my over-the-top no-contact rule. I'm not such a pathetic junkie that I need to act like a boring-ass monk who's too scared of women to even hang out with them. Particularly if there's other people there. I am such an idiot.
Mistake number 6. Bargaining for friendship. Now, one of the biggest losses caused by limerence is if you become limerent for a friend and feel you have to break contact. That is a really painful outcome. But unfortunately, the other option of trying to stay friends with someone that you're infatuated with is also all downside. Many limerents kind of intellectually accept the implausibility of staying friends with their limerent object, but they can't get past the feeling of loss, and so instead they bargain with themselves.
I mean, it's not as if he's ever been inappropriate. He only wants to be friends, and that's hardly unreasonable. I mean, am I so self-centered that I can't even be friends with someone just because I can't handle my own feelings? He's a good person. I'm just being pathetic. In fact, I can get through this. I'm not going to let limerence decide who I can and can't be friends with. And he's so level-headed and calm. And, I really need someone like that at the moment to help me figure out what I'm doing with my life. A real friend wouldn't give up on someone just because they've got a crush on them.
Mistake number 7. What happens at work stays at work. If you put a whole bunch of attractive people together and ask them to work on projects that can be emotionally demanding and stimulating, they sometimes fall into limerence with each other by accident. But you can't get away from work unless you or your limerent object quit, and that makes no contact impractical. Instead, some limerents try to manage this problem by compartmentalizing their lives.
I mean, it's not as if we're having an affair or anything. We never get together outside of work because that would be inappropriate. Okay, maybe we'll push the boundaries a bit and we should concentrate on work a bit more, but we understand each other. We both know what's going on, where the limits are, and we're both married, so nothing's going to happen. And yeah, maybe I'm working a bit later than I used to, but when I'm at home, I'm home me, and when I'm at work, I'm work me. It's just like the guys in the office joke. She's my work wife.
Mistake number 8. I know what I'm doing.
Course you do, champ. Looks perfectly safe.
Okay, so that's it. 8 common mistakes that limerents trying to manage those conflicting and complicated feelings make that actually just prolong the limerence episode that they're struggling through. Maybe you've made some yourself. Hopefully this list can help you see things from a new perspective. If you'd like more information about how to get out of a limerence episode before it's got too far, check out this video on the 5 phases of limerence and how to escape from them. Okay, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you want more, and I'll see you next time.